Yo, what's up? My name's Patrouski, and for the last 3 months or so, every time someone has asked me about PokeForce, I always say, yeah, it looks really promising, but I don't want to speak too much on it. I don't want to speak too soon. I don't like overhyping games before they're out, well before they're out in the case of PokeForce. But I do have something to hype about today, and it's insanely successful, in my opinion, beta demo test, or I guess pre-alpha. I thought it was a beta style test. The devs came out and said it was pre-alpha, if anything. Very, very early on test. The map for the game is actually still pretty small. They did actually give us a map of what they have so far, which is amazing, which I want to talk about in more detail here in a quick sec, because the map feels much larger than it is. That was one of the negatives I thought about at the first, but honestly, the more I've stewed on it, I actually really like the size of the routes, and I think it actually is a stylistic choice similar to classic WoW, and I'll jump into that here in a quick sec. But let's first cover what I wanted to most talk about is the game updates. So the test has been live for less than 24 hours at the time of recording this, and there was, I think, 5 major updates pushed. 5 updates within the first. Here's the first update. This was just letting us know servers were being uploaded or overloaded. Servers went down within, I think, 60 seconds of the beta test, or the pre-alpha test opening up. There was an update here fixing a client issue with leaky FPS and memory leak. I know that was a problem that I actually had. An update here, 3, 4, 5. There were 5 updates by 1 a.m. Mostly all posted. I don't know if they were coded by other people as well or just by Alicia, but Alicia was putting in a lot of work from what I was hearing from the other devs as well. They call her the coding wizard from what I understand. But yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 updates all pushed within 12 hours of a test. That's what these tests are for. I feel like a small, loud minority of people are tearing this game up. Oh, this game looks bad. Blah, 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 blah. This is pre-alpha, guys. I'm really harsh on Pokemon MMOs. I always say, if a Pokemon MMO is released and it's accepting microtransactions, it's accepting people to pay them money for their game, I'm going to be harsh on it because there are so many Pokemon MMOs that exist. I've played almost all of them. And a lot of them, in my personal opinion, aren't worth people's time, and people's time is very valuable. Now, if you enjoy those games, enjoy whatever you enjoy. Don't let me take that away from you. However, I think it's very important to be very critical of Pokemon MMOs in a very diluted market where there's so many of them. You don't want to be wasting your time on a mediocre one, in my personal opinion, and that's something that PokeForce is not. They've continuously blown me away in terms of communication, in terms of the devs' mindsets and what they do, uploading constant update blogs on their forum, their involvement in my stream chat and in the PokeMMO community, as well as the Pokemon community in general, is showing extreme strides and extreme effort to truly do what's best and get as much feedback. They've taken more feedback than I've ever seen any maybe developer do, period. And I've played a lot of video games. It's really, really impressive stuff. I feel like you hear this kind of sentence all the time, but it truly does feel like a game made by gamers, a game made by people who just like Pokemon and wanted to make a Pokemon, that saw a gap in the market and saw something more interesting could be created. Let's go ahead and go through quickly all of these updates. They're all pretty just bug fixy stuff, and that's what we're here for. We're here. The best thing that we can do and the best thing that you guys can do is visit the link first thing in the description and go play the PokeForce summer demo. It's so important. The more people they have online limit testing the servers, trying to run into every tile, break through every wall, talk to every NPC, the more we can test, the better. We want this game. We want to discover as many bugs as possible. We want to break this game as much as possible. That's literally the goal in a pre-alpha test, right? We're trying to discover these things so that Alicia and the devs can fix them and then move on with the game's development. So let's go ahead and go through it. We saw some random freezes. Yeah, there were a lot of times where you would walk around and just get randomly frozen. If you spammed E, hilariously, it would stop that for whatever reason. They seem to have been working on that. Current working on a solution for mining nodes not clearing properly and jobs not synchronizing properly. Job boards should be fixed. I also like that they just communicate what they're currently working on. This is something that we've been asking the PokeMMO devs for forever. Just letting us know, hey, we know this is a problem. We are working on it. We'll get back to you on it as soon as possible. That eases so much worry. The following changes have been applied. We are now in revision 67. Trainer battles have been fixed. The issue is that the parties have been were being updated for everyone instead of just you. So someone might have left a trainer with a Pineco at half health, and then when it was your turn, this is hilarious. There was a pretty big glitch slash bug with trainer battles. It was really funny. Wild battles all worked perfectly, but for whatever reason, trainer battles were wildly bugged. Where like, if you could go like do 15% damage to a Magikarp and it would just insta die for no reason and you were confused, and apparently the reason was that it was updating for everyone. Everybody's battles were in sync. I didn't even read this yet. That's hilarious. Job board synchronization is now fixed. There's another issue with global jobs. Gotcha. Apology for having to reset. Nope, super fair. Very nice, very thoughtful. A memory leak was fixed on the client, improved synchronization of players overall, fixed an issue with saving players related to the rollback we had earlier, adjusted some background rates. Ooh, I don't know. Would love to see what this means in terms of shinies or whatever that may be. Future planned updates for tomorrow or tonight. They're still working on it. I like that they let us know what they're working on. A move tutor that can assign things. Fixing the darkness issue in Mr. Pokemon's house. This is part of the mainline quest, which I still need to finish. A more robust quest log when at Mr. Pokemon's house stage. Adding more moves with their effects. Keeping up and cleaning up bugs that we're finding. Yep, they're doing a great job. A client was pushed. Removed lighting issues from Mr. Pokemon's house, and then fixed a potential crash. Okay, I want to talk about the map is very small. Let's go back to the map, right? The map is very small at the moment, but it actually feels ginormous. And this was something that was frustrating to me. When learning the game, it was very frustrating because when you think of Pokemon, you think of like pretty small routes. The routes in Pokemon are pretty small in terms of traveling in between cities, right? We all know that. However, I almost like, well, not even almost. Now I've come to, I really hated it when I first started playing. Not hated, that's a little harsh, but it was a little frustrating moving from town to town. But I even said this many times while doing my first impressions, which should be up on my, if you want to go see my full like 2-hour playthrough condensed into an hour or so of my first impressions of the game, that video should be up on my channel. But it was frustrating because there was so much to learn. It felt like the map was ginormous. It was very overwhelming and very stressful, and I didn't really know where to go. I was getting lost all the time, all these things. But the more I learned it, the more I got rewarded. And it really felt like, and it didn't take that long. I was really just being impatient. It really didn't take that long to learn the map, and it felt like when you learned the map, you really got rewarded because of it. It reminded me a lot of like World of Warcraft Classic, where these zones are massive. Like traveling across those zones is sometimes ridiculously huge, but honestly, that downtime and that sort of break of acclimation is actually really helpful to the mental and the grind of the game, if that makes sense. I think that could actually really work for PokeForce, and it's honestly become one of my favorite features. I think some of the most under-talked about features as well. One of my favorite features, I think my favorite features is like the mapping and the detailing and the lighting is insane. This is by far the most beautiful Pokemon MMO that I've ever seen. Probably the most beautiful Pokemon custom game that I've seen in general. And then secondarily, I don't think nearly enough people are talking about the NPCs in their scheduling, right? I went and I visited Moo Farm, I think like near in between Cherry Grove and Newbark, I believe, might even be north of Cherry Grove City. I went and visited Moo Farm, and there were mill tanks, hanging out on the farm. I went back to that farm at nighttime, and the mill tanks had moved inside because cows don't graze outside at nighttime. Not only did they build a schedule for all NPCs to like make movements on and make their paths on, they even scheduled the fucking cows. Like that kind of detail, like once again, I am just so impressed and so blown away. I just glazing. Oh, he's just glazing. Oh, he's paid off by the PokeForce devs. I know I'm going to get those comments no matter what. It turns out, guys, I just really like Pokemon MMOs, okay? I really like this genre. It makes me really happy. It gets me really excited. I'm very passionate about them. And I'm just so overjoyed to see a group of developers and a Pokemon MMO that I'm actually excited about for the first time since like Pro. And then Pro quickly lost my excitement and went downhill in my personal, please feel free to enjoy my personal opinion, right? I'm so excited to see PokeForce continue to develop. Like, this is just the beginning. That mill tank thing really just blew me away. And they're just updating the game. They're updating the game so much. They're so on top of things. I can't wait to see what else PokeForce does. I can't wait to see what this game becomes. I'm just so excited. Honestly, most of this is a video. I mean, this is a video to cover day one stuff and cover what I've learned and go over the updates. It's also just a video for me to rant to see how excited I am. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you've been enjoying PokeForce. If you have, like the video. If you think you made dumb points and I'm stinky, dislike. Subscribe to the video if you want to see daily Pokemon MMO content. Discord's down below. You can go above and beyond and support my content. Honestly, this month I have a really nice deal going on with HelloFresh. So if you want to get some really dope fresh food and also support me, HelloFresh link in the description. That's it. Have a great day. Play PokeForce. Have fun. Do the beta test. Get the exclusive vanity. I'll be having to do that pretty soon myself. Have a great day. I'll see you guys later. Peace, Reno.